What's up? It's your boy Kevin to turn on this motherfucking YouTube shit. This is serious. Wow, what the fuck?
What's up? It's your boy Kevin to turn on this YouTube shit. Hey man. Say man, we are lit, eh? Laying to man. Turn. Today, you motherfucking day, straight hood and outside the biggest crib. Yes, sir, man. Hey man, say man, we out here in the north side. Super lit, man. Trying to have a litty day, man. It's been raining, but it stopped raining right now, so we good right now, you know what I'm saying? You did. We're trying to have a positive day. We're trying to get on this bitch and get turned up in this bitch for the one time. We keep on trying to make these videos out here for y'all, make the heat go crazy. You know what I'm saying? Stay turned with your boy. It's always gonna be something new. We're gonna try to keep it creative and all that bit in this bitch, man. Make sure you like all my videos up. And yeah, fuck with your boy, man. We'll keep on like doing our thing on this bit, like crip shit, man. And alright, boom. So today, motherfucking day, they hood and outside biggest crip. Hey. So we've been talking about the Rder Melly trial, man. So if y'all did not see from the last video, man, I had posted about Rder Melly, man. Rder Melly, man. You know, they was looking through his text messages and seeing what the fuck is Rder Melly really talking about and shit. You know what I'm saying? They trying to find out nights and before the up and coming murders, the two murders. They trying to figure out what was Rder Melly talking about that night. You know what I'm saying? Before or that night or the week heading into it. You know what I'm saying? And so they got this undercover cop. You know what I'm saying? Nigga name was Danny. So the nigga had on a motherfucking ski mask, you know what I'm saying? And he was trying to say that like he really be in these gangs, but he be like, he's an undercover cop. So the nigga basically what he was doing, he was just reading what they was talking about. You know, Rder Melly bloods and shit. So that he was trying to read it to the motherfucking the people who's jurying, but he was kind of messing up on what the shit was, cause they were trying to say that King Von and Dirt was like bloods. Now they wasn't no bloods. You know, they was on that Chicago time, like BDs and GDs. You know what I'm saying? None of them niggas. I don't think none of that shit is like had to do anything with blood, you know what I'm saying? I think one is like purple and white, or the other one is a purple and black, or the other one like black and white. So you know what I'm saying? It's like they was always wrong about trying to say that King Von and Lil Durk was helping, not helping, but like they was like part of the gang, you know what I'm saying? Cause they was like, yeah, in a video they had a picture of King Von posted up with Rder Melly, and King Von had red on, but that's not like, you know, some niggas just were red. He wasn't no blood, you know what I'm saying? So they, you know, the detective, the undercover cop was like fucking up shit, you know what I'm saying? And hopefully the jury's not believing half of the shit they saying, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, he had that whole session about what he was trying to say about what they saying, who threw this, who threw that, from Rder Melly, Sack Chasing, all the other people who's in the game. So after they got that shit down, you know, they just showed the evidence, you did, the car and the whip, how bloody it was, how many holes was in the whip, where was the whip, where was the bullets, and all that shit, you know what I'm saying? And they got the directions of it, and they got, and the crazy thing is now, you know, this is getting wild, man, because they got Rder Melly friends. I think one of the niggas who was at the crib when Rder Melly had came back after the murders. You know what I'm saying? They got his friend on the trial. You know what I'm saying? Now I don't think he could have pleaded the fifth because I think he might be on trial too. So he jumped on trial. And a lot of people are saying shit, and you know what I'm saying? I'm finna tell y'all, I'm finna put the clips in of everything, the 7 main clips that's been important in the YNW Melly trial. And we finna put in, you did like his friend on top of the stage, which is crazy, man. So make sure you like and subscribe. Fuck with your boy, and yeah, we put the clips in.
Okay. Moving over to the right of photo marker number 5, what is that?
A spent casing.
Did you collect both of those 2 spent casings?
That is correct.
From bloody clothing to spent shell casings, we're taking a closer look at the 7 most crucial pieces of evidence in the YNW Melly double murder case and what it means for both sides. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Sierra Gillespie. So for the state of Florida, it's a case nearly 5 years in the making, with Jamel Demmons, better known as YNW Melly, now charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. His co-defendant, 22-year-old Cortland Henry, otherwise known as YNW Bortland, faces the same charges. Demmons and Henry are charged with killing their friends and co-members of their YNW collective, 19-year-old Christopher Thomas, also known as YNW Juvie, and 21-year-old Anthony Williams, who went by YNW Sack Chaser. According to prosecutors, Henry pulled up to a Miramar, Florida hospital on October 26, 2018, saying Thomas and Williams were bleeding out in his vehicle. He alleged it was a drive-by shooting, but when officials reached the vehicle, Thomas and Williams were already dead with gunshot wounds to their heads and torsos. Investigators later found surveillance video of both victims, Henry and Demmons, at a recording studio before the shooting. Detectives say blood spatter evidence and cell phone data prove all 4 were together the night of the murders. Demmons was then arrested in February 2019. Only a few days into the trial, and we're already seeing some key pieces of evidence for the state's case. Jurors have already gotten an inside look into the vehicle where Thomas and Williams were allegedly shot.
What are we looking at in here? I'm going to zoom in here to the hood area.
That is another piece of evidence tape used to seal the vehicle in the same way that we sealed the premises prior to a search warrant. The vehicle and all of its entries are sealed prior to the search warrant being executed.
So, for example, now looking at the screen down here at the bottom of the passenger side doors, that red item, is that the same evidence tape we've been looking at?
Yes, it is.
The evidence went into greater detail as jurors were shown the back seat of that vehicle. The evidence appeared to show blood stains covering the seats and the center console.
What are we looking at?
This is the rear passenger side seat as well as the rear center console, pin cup holders, and partial of the rear driver's side seat.
This area in the center with the 2 Sprite cans, is that how you found it, in the down position?
Yes.
As to photo marker number 10, did you collect the 2 Sprite cans that were there?
Yes, I did.
Going on to the rear of the vehicle, photo markers 12, 13, and 14. Did you collect the various items listed in this photo?
Yes, I did.
Did you have help and assistance in processing this vehicle?
Yes, I did.
Who helped you?
Crime scene technician Tara Carroll.
Did you guys have a plan of attack as to how to process the vehicle?
We split up the vehicle into certain sections, and each processes areas of the vehicle and collected the items that were in relation to those areas.
So it's clear to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury, what section were you assigned?
I was assigned to the driver's side of the vehicle.
In terms of these photographs, they were all taken by you. Is that a correct statement?
Correct.
Moving on to item number 18 and 17. Did you collect those 2?
Yes, I did.
19 and 20 as shown here. Did you collect those?
Yes, I did.
But it wasn't just blood in the backseat of the vehicle presented as evidence. Prosecutors also pulled photos of the victim's clothing covered in blood and showing bullet holes.
What's item J?
Picture of the jean jacket that was provided by medical staff of the deceased, or from the deceased.
With regards to this next photo of item J, there is an arrow indicating a circular area. Are you able to tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury if that is or is not a distressed portion of the jacket or is some sort of bullet defect?
Based on my experience in training, it appears to be something similar to a bullet hole.
Okay. With regards to the arrows, is that where you're putting those on there?
That is correct.
Moving on to the back of item J, is that how it looked when you collected it?
That is correct.
Based on your training and experience as a crime scene investigator, does the appearance of blood change over time as it's stored in evidence?
That is correct.
That's still the same jacket that we have in evidence?
That is correct.
Aside from the gruesome, bloody photos displayed to the jury, the state also called witnesses to testify about the alleged location of the shooting. Here's Morgan Curry describing what was seen in those photos.
Go back to item number 1, back on the south side. Can you describe what we're looking at in this photo here with photo marker number 1?
Yes. The shell casing, spent casing, that is it.
Okay. That's that particular item?
That is correct.
Was this item collected?
Yes, it was.
Why do you take multiple photographs from different angles of these items?
Just to get an overall depiction of the specific item, and then also accounting for lighting or better visibility of the item.
And the glass appearing object underneath the casing, did you collect any of that specific glass right there?
I do not believe we did.
Why not?
I think after discussing with the investigators, did not believe that it was in reference or pertaining to the case item.
Okay. Did it have any characteristics of auto glass?
Objection beyond the scope
If she knows.
of her expertise.
I first established that she may know something about this.
So, Investigator Curry, and part of your training in crime scene, is it determining what evidence may be something that would be to collect?
Yes, it is.
In terms of the facts of the case, is that something that you're familiar with and you familiarize yourself with to know what types of evidence may exist?
Correct.
For glass and glassware, do you have any training in identifying potential sources of glass or other items that may be of evidence you're done?
Yes, I do.
With regards to the glass in the Jeep that was found at the hospital, have you had the opportunity to view that Jeep prior to November 21st of 2018?
Yes, I have.
The glass that was in the Jeep, was that consistent with the glass that's there in this photo marker number 1?
No, it was not.
Moving on to photo markers, and so for this is the establishing shot for which 4 photo markers?
4, 5, 6, and 7.
Okay. Going to the close-up of photo marker number 4. What was the important item of evidence in this photo?
Spent casing.
Okay. There's a scale on each photo marker. Why is that?
We're able to document the size of the specific item on the picture or that we're photographing.
And are all of these items later on collected?
Yes, they are.
Going on to photo marker number 5. I'm going to start with the item to the left here. What is that?
Spent casing.
Okay. Moving over to the right of photo marker number 5. What is that?
Spent casing.
Did you collect both of those 2 spent casings?
That is correct.
Okay. And in terms of another view of these 2 casings on number 5, is that what we're looking at here?
That is correct.
Moving on to photo marker number 6. What? I'm going to move into the closer up one for photo marker number 6. I'm going to start to the one to the left. What is that?
Spent casing.
Okay. Is that the same one that was next to photo marker number 5?
Not to my knowledge, no.
And to the right, photo marker number 6?
It's another Smith casing.
After the shooting, or as the defense claims, drive-by shooting took place, surveillance video shows the moment where YNW Bortland arrives at Memorial Hospital Miramar with YNW Juvie and Sack Chaser in his car. The state's witnesses testified that Juvie and Sack Chaser were already dead by the time they arrived at the hospital. First responders testified the area was sealed off and treated as a crime scene.
Seeing on the screen right now.
So this is the sidewalk portion I was telling you about. Immediately on the bottom left corner of the screen, where you see those white dashes, that's where the cars drive through. The dashes are for them to see pedestrians walking across into the yard. Then there's a sidewalk portion, and these are the 2 doors of the ER. The left door on the left side of the video is the ER adult entrance, and the right is the pediatric entrance, but it's one big area. And then in the middle is the park bench. Right behind that glass is a security desk. I'm sitting in the middle of both of those doors.
And that subject that we see in the video,
That's the gentleman that the police is making.
continuing to publish. Is this the where you indicated to us earlier that you had him sit down, Cortland Henry?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, you can't see the Jeep in the video frame, is that correct?
Yes.
The Jeep would be located at the bottom left, my left of the
Yes.
screen?
Yes.
Okay. And I noticed that you approached and you were talking into something. What was that?
That's my patrol radio.
Okay. Was that your how you were able to request assistance?
Yes, ma'am.
And it's additional surveillance video that puts Melly with both victims ahead of the shooting. But jurors also heard ballistic testimony from crime scene investigators who gave a visual representation of how the bullets traveled in the vehicle.
As you were saying, explain to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury, what are these green, red items that are now in the back seat of the Jeep?
These are called trajectory rods, and like I said, they are used to show the approximate path of the projectile when it struck the surface.
How many trajectory rods are in this photo that we're looking at here?
There are 7.
Going forward to the next photograph, what are we looking at here?
This is the opposite side of the rear passenger side seat, showing the trajectory rods coming through.
Objection. Same objection?
Yes, sir.
Overruled.
Again, showing what?
Showing the trajectory rods coming through the back of the rear passenger seat and through to the front of the rear passenger side seat.
And can you explain to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury how you place them?
The trajectory rods are placed through one defect, pass through the object, and then through the other defect on the opposite side.
YNW Melly's trial is just getting started, and the prosecution has already presented some pretty significant evidence. But will this be enough for the jury to find Melly guilty beyond a reasonable doubt? And how will Melly's defense argue this evidence? That's all we have for you on Sidebar. Thanks so much for joining us. Please subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Sierra Gillespie. We'll see you next time.
The record, what is Frida wearing in the photograph?
Shirt. White shirt.
Okay. So after the hospital, you went to Frido's house.
To the best of my knowledge.
Okay. And what were you doing at the house?
Still grieving.
Okay. Who took you to the hospital?
The cameraman.
Okay. Do you recall his name?
Drew.
Right. And do you recall who took you from the hospital to Frido's house?
Same person.
All right. And before you left for the hospital, or actually, who went to the hospital with you and Drew?
Just Drew.
Okay. Who was at the house, Melly's house, before you left for the hospital?
Same people that was there when we got there.
Okay. And Same people being the 4 people that entered the Mitsubishi?
Yes.
Okay. So you're at Frito's house. You mentioned, and I forgot exactly where you were in the house. Did you say where you were?
Judy's room.
Oh, no, not Melly's house. Frito's house. Where were you in Frito's house?
Outside.
Okay. And who was at Frito's house when you first got there?
Everybody that was in the house.
Okay. And it's because I don't know who everybody was or is, can you please specify?
Kobe, Melly. I'm on people I can remember.
Okay. Was that the first time you saw Melly after you guys left the studio?
Yeah.
Was Melly wearing the same clothes or different clothes than when you saw him at the studio?
It was a new day. Nah, he wasn't.
Nah, he wasn't. You guys
He wasn't wearing the same clothes.
Okay. Do you recall what he was wearing?
Just had on some shorts.
Okay. And how long did you stay at Frito Bain's house?
I don't know.
Right. Minutes, hours, days?
Could be minutes, could be hours.
Okay. So not days.
Not even a day.
Okay. And so when you got to Frito's house, was it light or dark outside?
It's light.
And you previously said yourself and Melly and someone else was at Frito's house. Was Frito there as well?
I think I did see him. I don't remember.
Okay. What happens while you're there? Like you're there, you're outside, what happens?
Greeting.
Okay. And you're grieving, are you grieving alone?
Yes.
Are you at the house, at any point in time, do more people come to the house or do people leave the house?
If they did come, I don't know. I was in the back.
Okay.
But I was back there breathing.
At any point in time, did Melly leave Frito's house?
It came to a point when I was there by myself.
All right. So you were there by yourself. So the people that you previously said were there were no longer there, correct?
Right.
And so do you know where they went during that time?
I don't.
All right. And we're still talking about October 26th of 2018, correct?
Yes.
And this would be shortly after the hospital?
Yes.
All right. At some point, does Melly come back to Frito's house?
Around this time, I'm still grieving and it's getting a little, I don't know, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I guess Melly comes back.
Yeah, I guess they did come back.
Right.
I don't know, I'm not sure.
Okay. And at some point, does Melly leave again, a second time?
I don't remember anything farther after that.
All right.
Me grieving. That was the last thing I remember was me grieving. And I ain't looking different.
All right. So before you end up in Griffin, if I were to show you a statement, would that refresh your recollection as to Melly leaving and coming back a second time?
I suppose so.
Under permission to show him his statement again?
Yes, Counsel.
Mr. Glass, I'm going to give you page 5 and page 6.
Celebrate independence.
If you can take a look, you can start in the middle and review those pages and look up when you're done. Are you done?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Did that refresh your recollection?
Somewhat.
Okay, so tell us what you somewhat remember.
I just did.
If you recall, you said you weren't sure, you went to Gifford, and then I asked you if your statement would refresh your recollection. Does your statement refresh your recollection as to whether Melly left again?
I'm not sure if they left. I was grieving.
Okay.
I'm not sure what nobody did. I was grieving.
All right. You mentioned, well, not you mentioned, let's see. I pointed out to you someone was, the person that was wearing the jacket that you identified as Melly was carrying something across his side or his back on the video. Do you recall seeing that?
Yes.
Okay. Do you recall what that's referred to?
A satchel.
Okay. Can it also be commonly referred to?
Objection.
Sustained.
Are you familiar with the term man?
Objection.
Watch come sidewalk.
Did you see that satchel again after you left the studio? Do you know what was in that satchel?
I don't.
Do you recall seeing anyone else with a satchel that night at the studio?
It was 5 years ago. I don't recall.
Okay. Is there anything that can refresh your recollection as to whether or not anybody else was wearing a satchel?
I suppose so.
If I were to show you the video again, would that refresh your recollection?
I suppose so.
Publishing State 7. I'm going to start Publishing State 7 at 2:19:01. And I'm going to pause at 2:19:13. Does the video refresh your recollection as to anyone else that was carrying a satchel?
Yes.
Who, if anyone, was carrying a satchel?
I see Chris for one.
And that's Christopher Thomas.
Yes.
Did you ever have any business relationship with a person I refer to as Track?
No.
Okay. Do you know who Track is?
Not really.
Not really, or
I don't know who he is at all.
do you know of him?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you see Track on October 26, 2018 at any point?
No.
Do you recall giving...
Cross-examination, if you're ready, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Morning, Mr. Glass. Morning, sir. So you smoke a lot of marijuana, right?
Possibly.
Well, you smoke it anytime you get a chance, I think is how you phrase it.
It's your answer. Yeah.
That was your answer.
I smoke when I smoke.
You smoke when you smoke?
Yeah.
And when's that?
When I smoke.
And when would that be?
When I smoke.
How many times a day?
Objection to ask and answer.
Overruled.
Twice, 3 times, maybe.
Okay. And on the night before you got to the studio, on the day in question, you had smoked at least 2 joints, right?
Sure, yes.
That's what you said, right?
I don't recall.
Okay. And when you got to the studio, you were smoking, correct?
Possibly.
Were you or weren't you?
It was 5 years ago.
You forget?
I don't recall.
Okay. And
This witness excused?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. You may step down. You are excused. Mr. Golden Box, ladies and gentlemen, why don't we take our lunch and recess now? Looks like it's over after 12. Remember the admonition, do not discuss the case, don't form any opinion about the case, don't allow anyone to discuss the case in your presence. And certainly no research. We'll see everybody back at, let's say, 1:30. All right? Thank you.
I'll be back. So, if you see from that bitch, man, it get gruesome. I ain't gonna cap, there's blood everywhere. Windows busted, holes in the windows. You know, I heard they found they phones and shit. And they directed the bullets between how it shot and shit. It's wild because, you know, the detective people was trying to get the jury to go visit the motherfucking crime scene. You know what I'm saying? And look like directly close into like how the fuck the nigga died. Look at all the blood and the splatter on the seats and shit. Look at the shirts. They was gonna take they were trying to take the jury trial to go see the murder scene. But that's against, like, you know what I'm saying, against what's going on, because as we saying it's fucking regular people, you know what I'm saying? They're literally like civilians, you know what I'm saying? Like who haven't done nothing really. Civilian ass niggas. And so you take a bunch of civilians to go see a murder scene, and we don't even know why Melly did it. We trying to say he didn't do it. But they was trying to let him go see the shit, and they were like, the judge denied it because, you know, like I said, the people go look at the scene, they gonna change their mind because they be like, damn, look at the murder, look at the blood and shit. You know what I'm saying? Some people not used to seeing a whole bunch of blood. You know what I'm saying? So it could kind of fuck people up and shit. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like they could ruin everything as far as pushing him to say that he's guilty, because, you know what I'm saying, niggas see blood and bullet holes and nothing fuck like, man, he might have done it. You know what I'm saying? But we still trying to say he didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? His friend, they would ask him questions as far as like, where was Melly when after he dropped his friends off to die, when at the hospital. They were trying to say what happened when Melly came back. And, you know what I'm saying, he was trying to say, yeah, YNW Melly came back, whoop de whoop. And you know what I'm saying, they were trying to say that he was like, he didn't really know what was going on. They didn't know why Melly left and he came back. And they were trying to say if he had if he had a gun on him, his satchel, which, you know what I'm saying, a lot of that was like, you dig, like Crip, like you can't go against the facts, you know what I'm saying, of the video. Because in the video it shows people with a satchel, you know what I'm saying. But, you know what I'm saying, we don't know what was in the satchel, who used the satchel. Because they could, like we trying to say, they did not find any weapon that's draw YNW Melly to the crime scene. You know what I'm saying? So they trying to ask, they basically trying to figure out what happened to the motherfucking satchel. And they trying to talk to his friend and like, hey, we know you know something. He came to the motherfucking room or to y'all crib. Y'all done talking shit. But the friend was like, I don't know nothing. We all mourning. We don't fucking know what happened. Maybe he left. Maybe he came back at that moment. You know what I'm saying? We all mourning about YNW sack chasing Julie. You know what I'm saying? So, a lot of it, he kept it solid. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? A lot of it is just like, you can't. Hey, a nigga point the camera and it shows a nigga with a bag and a satchel, nigga. It's like, damn, nigga, how can you be like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? So, I feel like the friend was trying to do so much as he can. You know what I'm saying? On this trial. I mean, they were trying to say that the friend had, I guess, trying to kind of snitch. But then you go on the court side, they trying to say he snitched. But if you go on the other side, it's saying that he held it down for YNW Melly. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of it is like, you gotta be like, it depends on what side you're on at the end of the day. Yeah, if you're on YNW Melly's side, you're like, okay, he held it down. He didn't really say nothing about if YNW Melly shot the nigga, if he had a gun, where if he done left, where he put the gun, where he put the satchel, what happened between that and what y'all was talking about. He didn't say none of that. But if you're on the other side, like, he kind of prove that, you know what I'm saying, that he was like, he had a satchel and we came back to y'all and y'all probably had a conversation. So it's like, you feel me? So it's like, it really depends on whose side you're going for. For me, I feel like, man, he held it down. Like, we didn't hear nothing about why Melly shooting nobody. We didn't hear nothing about, hey, go hide the pistol. We didn't hear him say, he finna go out and go and he about to go hide some shit and come right back. He didn't say none of that, you know what I'm saying? He was just kept it like, you know what I'm saying? He kept it pretty like, you know what I'm saying, like open, like, you know what I'm saying, open question, like, he like, yeah, he came back, but after that, I don't know what the fuck happened. Oh yeah, he had a satchel, but I don't know what the fuck was in it. I don't know what the fuck was what the satchel's for. He could have had money in that bitch. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I feel like they was trying to press the friend at all costs, you know what I'm saying? They trying to get anything and everything out that nigga, because, you know, he's probably like, not one of the main witnesses, but, you know, because the main witness is the nigga who was on the trial with that nigga who was in that hospital. But then he like one of the main witnesses, you know what I'm saying, after the murder scene and shit. So they just trying to get anything and everything just to prove that, you know what I'm saying, something's going down and left, man. So I feel like, man, these few trials, man, is going crazy, man. You know, we still got so much left, I think, until like the end of this month type shit. You feel me? So so when we get some more shit about what's going on, cause you know, a lot of these motherfuckers, they be talking, they just, you know, a lot of it, they just be talking and it be part of the trial, but it's don't be nothing like no clear evidence. So I was just trying to give like the main shit, like when that man came with the mask, then with his best friend is talking and shit, man. Woo-wee! Bruh. I hope his friend just really held it down, you know what I'm saying? And you know, it's pretty good that his friend is in trial and they gotta say it, because if the friend had to go to trial, he probably would have been done said it, you know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? So it's like, if he would have, cause it would have been like Gunner, you know what I'm saying? Like, yes ma'am, yes ma'am. So they'll be like, so why Melly have a gun? Yes ma'am. Yeah, why Melly come back and say whoop whoop this? Yes ma'am. Why Melly do this? Whoop whoop, yes ma'am. So you know what I'm saying? It's two different situations. He was trying to, it's like that motherfucker, he's like, I don't really know. I don't fucking know. They had satchels, but who the fuck knows? I don't fucking know nothing. That's how you're supposed to keep it. Like, you know what I'm saying? You was supposed to like, maybe, I don't know. Cause they can, you know, they can kind of hold you recording some shit longer, because they be like, oh, this nigga lying. You know what I'm saying? So you just gotta make it seem like whatever going on. And probably don't even know. To be honest, you know what I'm saying? Niggas probably don't. He probably do not really dead ass know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, they probably could have really been mourning, and they could have been really like, damn, my friend really got shot the fuck up, and we gotta see what the fuck going on, and we gotta stay cool and chill. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, at the end of the day, man, we ain't gonna really know until like, cause it's like we said, man, it's juries, it's regular civilians. You know what I'm saying? And the civilians can say anything and everything, you know what I'm saying? You could be like, in some cases, be like, man, we didn't know that nigga killed it. But the jury like, and we don't know, so they let him go. So, or it'd be like, we be like, that nigga didn't do nothing at all. And the jury like, he did it. You know what I'm saying? You really don't know what these days with the regular motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? And plus, we don't even know if these motherfuckers are YNW Melly fans. Like, you know how many songs they don't heard of that time of that song? They probably for Melly. Who knows, man? Hey. Make sure you like Scarty videos up, man. This video really gave us the details of how it looked and how the 7 main parts of the evidence and shit, which is crazy, man. His friend got on the stand. So at the end of the day, man, I feel like why Melly got a good chance, man. They really got no evidence of nothing, really. You know what I'm saying? They had evidence. They would have been there and said, oh, we got the evidence. They ain't got no evidence. They really just trying to go off the friends and try to make it seem like it to the jury. So make sure y'all fuck with your boy, man. We're gonna keep on putting out this heat, man. This is YNW Melly trial, man. These trials are getting crazy, man. So make sure you like them up. Fuck with your boy. Share these videos out, man. We'll keep on putting out that heat, man. We out there chilling outside. That big is creep. Yes, sir.
Hey, Dad, you know, dog, when we link up, dog, this shit be legendary. You know this instrumental, you the engineer on it, so Kodak everywhere.